Hi, this is Tweek. I'm really into sun catchers, so I thought I'd bring some of the holiday season to a window near me. Join us! Supplies you'll need for this project are: you'll need a lot of red beads. 2 or 3 different sizes will make a poinsettia. You'll need crimping beads, some copper wire, and for the centers I'm going to be using bells. So let's get started. I got the idea to make more sun catchers for the window because I made leaves for fall. I still today look at them, they're beautiful, and I want to switch those out for some holiday color, and I thought the poinsettia. Beautiful colors, and look at, I used 3 sizes of beads, 8mm, 6mm, and as each petal starts with a thicker bead and it winds down to a smaller 4mm and then winds back 4, 6, and 8mm beads. And I capped it off with a center that reminded me of a poinsettia center, and I used bells. So there's a little bit of whimsy, a little bit of sound, and lots of color. And then came the supply chain issue where I didn't have any more big beads to use. So I went through my supply and came up with a smaller design. It's still the basic larger beads to smaller beads and back. It makes for a smaller flower, as you can see, but the different sizes look beautiful hanging together. And my beads still didn't show up, so I came up with my final design, and I'll show that to you. First, I must have come up with a pattern using the beads that I had. So I have a pattern of, these are 6mm beads, and I've got 5 of them. And then I've got 9 little 4mm beads. So I'm only using 2 kinds of beads instead of 3, but you still get the effect of a thicker petal to a point and down. We're going to need crimping beads, 3 at each end. So every time I do a series of pattern with the beads, I'm going to put 3 crimp beads in between. So I will get some wire. I'll give you an example of what I'm going to do here by making a petal. So I've got a 9.1mm copper wire. Stuff is lovely to work with, but if you overwork it, it can snap. So don't do that. Right. To give you an idea, we take our piece of wire. I'm going to curl up, just, you can bend it if you want, but I'm just going to put a little bit of a curl at the end, just so that my beads don't go running everywhere. And I start throwing on my pattern. So I'm going to go with 3 crimp beads. Now I'm going to go with the larger beads first. In this case, it's 5 beads. So these are going to be more delicate poinsettias, and they're going to be every bit as pretty. In fact, all the different sizes hanging together is probably going to make a more beautiful arrangement. When I string the beads too, I always go in odd numbers. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of that size and 9 of this size. And I will count to make sure. Because whatever you do in each little segment, you repeat so that your poinsettia leaves or petals look the same. There's 3, 6, got 9 there already. Okay, now I'm going to add 3 crimp beads. So the first part of the sun catcher is just lining the beads up on the wire. I've got my first little section there. Now I'm going to repeat going backwards because this would be the point of the flower. So we're going to go with 9 little beads again. I had 3 crimp beads between. See, they're going to match up. Now we do 5 of the bigger ones. Okay, and then put 3 crimps. So you've got 3 crimp beads, 5, 9, 3 crimp beads, and 9, 5. And then what you're going to do is we're going to bring these 2 together. See, and that's how you're going to get your flower. It's going to be a little bit different when we get them all in a row, but then I'm going to pinch at the top where those 3 beads are to get myself a point, and then I will come in and shape the poinsettia leaf that is how you get your basic petal, see? Now, if we do this, we need 6 petals per poinsettia. So what I did was I strung out my beads onto a wire, long piece of wire. Let's see, how many feet did we have here? Oh, probably at least 3 feet. And here's my segment. I started out with that pattern, taller to smaller, crimp beads, taller to smaller, crimp beads, and you do that 6 times. Now we're to the end here, so I'm just going to put just a little bit of a stopper right there, and I'm going to start shaping this flower. I got plenty of wire here. I'm going to give myself a little more generous ending here, and put an end there. Just don't want all the beads to go flying. So I've got this in front of me. Move aside, guys. And it's very, very, very simple. This wire is kind of crazy. It goes every which way. So I'm going to start at one end. Everybody's still here? Oh, you see, the crimp beads are trying to get away. So I'm going to go tighten them up a little bit, and I'm going to crimp to here. Okay. Then I'm going to go back. So I crimp down. Now I crimp up, and I'm trying to square away the beads, push the beads down. I don't want big gaps in the wire. Now we go down again, and coming up, I'm just giving a little bit of a squeeze at each crimp, and up and down, and I feel like I just lost a crimp bead, so we'll make sure. And we come up and we come down. So this is what you have now. Does it look like a poinsettia yet? Now we're going to put them together. I'm going to add those 3 beads that went flying back on here. So I'm going to put these 2 ends together here. But I've decided I just have too many crimp beads there, so I'm going to leave one side without the crimp beads. So I've got crimp beads all the way down to the end. I'm going to take these 2 wires and I'm going to fold them in together. I want a stopper right there. That's nice and secure. Now I'm going to take this excess wire here, the longer piece, and I'm going to go straight across. I'm going to make a center that holds all this together. Okay, so I'm going to go straight across. Line up those 2. I'm just going to bring the wire across. I'm not going real tight. And I'm going to come over next to it. I know this looks a little cattywampus right now, but it works out. And I'm going to come to the wire next to it, or the little corner there. And I'm going to kind of find the other side. And there it is. You're basically making side to side on the 6 petals. I got this one here. I'm going to come up this one and go here. Now that I have some idea of them being together, press down. Now I can start shaping. This is now where you get more of an idea of how your flower is going to look. Push in, point at the top. See, it's getting better each time you give a little squeeze. That's why I put the 3 crimp beads there. They seem to help me get a better point. See how it's starting to come around here? So I'm going to just keep winding the excess wire around till I get a better look. So I'm getting the basic shape. Now let's finish this up. So this is one of the nice things about a poinsettia. Poinsettia is because if you look at one, the leaves are different. The shape of the flowers are different. I mean, they have the basic outline, but they can be more ruffled. They can be the leaves on top of each other, the petals. And so really whatever you come up with, you're going to have the shape that tells you what it is. Now what I'd like to do now, I like that shape, and I keep futzing and going around and pressing and trying to make it more like what I have in my mind. Now I want to fix that center, because that center looks a little bit on the messy side with lots of copper. And the way I'm doing with that is I'm going to take a couple bells. I'm going to take 3 little bells. They have the tiniest little sound to them. And I'm going to take a piece of wire. This is regular wire, because you could use the copper, but I don't think it's, I don't want the wire to show up as much. Oh, got stuff rolling all over here. So I'm going to take the bells and string them all onto the wire. You could do with beads too if you want, but I wanted a little bit of the tinkle there. I wanted a little bit of the sparkle. Okay, now I'm thinking, do I want to pull them together? I do. So I'm going to make a knot and just tie them up together. See? Very, very simple. Tie the knot twice. This is where you decide, do you want a little more embellishment? You could add another bead there, which I did on some, but I'm just going to take this and push these 2 wires straight through. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to push it through, but I'm not going to push through in the same spot. I want a little more security for the wires, so I'm going to try to catch these center copper wires in 2 different spots to bring this through. And oh my goodness, see how that hides little imperfections in the center and adds a little bit of whimsy? Now, do I want to do the same on the other side? I do. So it's going to be a 2-sided bell. 1, 3 more bells here. That way my my sun catcher can swing. I think I'm going to add 1 more to this side. Okay, so when you hook these guys together, you should have a mirror image from the other side. See? Okay, let me put another. I can get under you. There we go. Come here. There we go. And get another knot in there. I think I'll put another just for insurance. And then I'm going to get my stronger little plier here and make sure the knot is tight. So you've got the 1 wire that's holding both sides together. Now remember, I was so worried about what that inside looked like. Well, come here. Trying to get to the wire. Where are you? There we go. Look at that. Oh my gosh, see, now I'm pleased. This wasn't what I intended. I wanted the bigger, the brighter poinsettia. I want to hang them in the windows, but I'm pretty sure that hanging the little ones are going to look really, really sweet. And there you have it, an unplanned but every bit as gorgeous little poinsettia ready to shine in my windows. So if you like what you've seen here today, give us a like, subscribe to our channel, and remember to ring the bell so you know when another episode of Tweaks with Tweek is coming along. Until then, get ready. We're going to make some sun catchers, ornaments, candy canes. You wait and see. I'll see you again.